Well, Gaffer, we're taking on Doncaster on Saturday. Obviously, a team we're very familiar with, having been in the promotion race with them last season. How much have they changed since last season, would you say?
Not a great deal, to be honest. A lot of the same personnel, trying to do a lot of the same things. Obviously, started really well. Had a great season last season. They're a good team, aren't they? And they're well drilled, really well coached, and they've taken that into this season as well, and sort of hit the ground running. Really started really well. So. Very familiar with them and what they do. Same, they'll think the same of us. So, I suppose both teams are trying to come up with something different that we haven't seen to try and win the game. Yeah, so a familiar opponent, familiar surroundings. Been there quite a bit of late, and we know we're going to be in for a tough game for sure.
Is the main message to the lads after Rotherham being harnessing what you did in the second half and sort of bringing it to the full 90, I suppose?
Well, yeah, we don't want to see the first half again, do we? So, a bit of an outlier, that one, I think. And the response in the second half, that's how the team, we want the team to play. That's how the boys, they recognised it at half-time themselves, everything that they were saying in the change room, that we was just off it. And then the response, the performance, the goals that we scored, the chances that we created in that second half is everything that we want to be. But teams just don't give it up, do they? You have to earn the right. And this Doncaster team will be exactly the same. They're not just going to let you go there and do what you want. So you're going to have to defend at times. You're going to have to dig in. You have to be disciplined. Earn the right to go and play for the spaces to come to go and play the football that we want to play. But from a good structure. So. Some lessons learned from that of how poor it can be if we're off it, but how good we can be when we're really on it as well. So it's trying to bring that every minute of every game, which is difficult, of course. That consistency is what we're striving for. So, it was a good win, backed up by another good win in the week. So we got a little bit of confidence with the back-to-back wins, and we go there thinking that we can win the game.
You spoke on the podcast about sort of building a more expansiveness to our play, but keeping the same style from last season. How far do you think we're getting with that in terms of developing? It takes time, of course.
Yeah, it does. It does. We're gonna have to. That's gonna evolve constantly throughout the season, and we're never gonna have nailed it. I think we're improving as a team. I think some of the football that we're playing is really, really pleasing on the eye at times. We're creating a lot of chances in different ways to what we did last season. But I don't want to give up the other side of that. Obviously, we've gone up a level. You expect to probably concede more goals and more chances because you're playing against better teams with better players. So that's natural, I suppose. But the team that draws 3-4, 4-4, or wins 5-4, gets beat 4-5, that ain't for me. That I want to be able to create and score, but without giving up the other end. So constant battle to perfect that, and you never will. But I think we're showing signs that we can be both. Second half against Rotherham gave up very, very little as far as chances and created a load. So there's a good marker, if you like. But obviously there's going to be more tests and loads of good teams that we're going to come up against. So we're never going to quite get there, but we'll continue to strive for it.
You've got the luxury where you haven't got too many injuries. Touch wood, that continues. Aaron Sassu, has he picked up a little knock? Is that what's keeping him out?
Yeah, little hamstring tweak. So probably a 2-weeker from when he picked it up, which was when he came on. I forget who he played now. The last game he came on in, basically. He picked that up. I think it might have been a home game after that. I can't remember exactly. And so 2 weeks from that. So close. See what he does this morning. Obviously Thursday morning, see how much he gets through. Whether we dip him in tomorrow with a view to being involved might come a little bit too soon, to be honest. Obviously would have wanted him to play in the week, get a game there, but wasn't to be. But it's not a long term. He will be back before you know it. Hopefully for the weekend. If not, I'm sure for the game after, which is Wycombe. Yeah.
There's a lot coming up. Just to finish, it's EFL Youth Development Week. Just wanted to ask you about the academy, how much it helped you in the job, and was it kind of a bit of a nice attraction when you did come in, knowing how productive it is?
It was, yeah. I think it's probably one of the reasons why I was attracted to it, and perhaps why the club was attracted to me, because I had sort of a bit of a history, in my short time as Charlton manager, brought a few through then, give a lot of debuts, showed a lot of faith in the youth there. Continue to do the same here. I love giving the opportunity to young players. It has to be earned, and one of the things that probably from my early time at the club was, we was getting loads of debuts at that time, but it was probably because the team wasn't in the right place, so probably too many debuts. It's great for the academy to get that pathway, of course, but the lads have got to be ready, and it needs to be, you're going to get in and you're going to have the opportunity to stay in, where see a lot of those boys that was getting debuts at that time have not sort of nailed down their place here, and they've had to move on. But it's always rewarding to do that, especially when you do get lads come in, establish themselves, stay in the team. So Oggs is obviously the epitome of that. Kai the other night, he's still sort of further back in his journey. He's on loan, learning it, but we can bring him back for games like that, dip him in. Great game for him the other night, to learn the both sides of it, get his goal, stuff like that. There's nothing better than giving a kid a debut and seeing a smile on their face, and how much it means to them. And we pride ourselves on that, and we're going to have to continue to do that as a club. Yes, we want to continue to build and be a strong squad, but we also have to make sure that we're giving pathways to young players. And obviously when they do well, they end up moving on, which you've seen a million players up and down the country that have moved on from here. Not a million, but you know what I'm saying. There's players throughout the EFL that have been through our system and that are now gone on to have really good careers. So that's really important. Whether they're going to play for Wimbledon, stay at Wimbledon, or whether they're going to move on, the academy's job is also to give lads the opportunity to go and have careers in the game, whether that's here or not. But really enjoy that part of it, and really rewarding when you do see a young one come through and get in the team.
Johnny, thanks for your time.